This is your real estate update for the Space Coast, offering a retrospective analysis of the developments that transpired in February 2024. We're here with Tom Ferry, the #1 real estate coach in the nation, to give us a bird's eye view of what's going on, across the world.
So thank you guys so much for the opportunity to share. As you know, we work with real estate agents, the top producing salespeople in 29 countries around the world. So hopefully what I can bring to you today is a little bit of insight what's happening around the world, but more importantly, right here on the Space Coast.
Perfect. So we can sum up the month of February here on the Space Coast in a few words, and that is more sellers, fewer buyers.
Yeah, we saw a 4% increase in inventory for the month, bringing us a 35% increase compared to last year. With over 3,350 homes listed currently, we've now surpassed pre-COVID.
Yeah, the reason for this inventory increase is twofold. Seasonality, we always see inventory increase from January, say, till October, but higher mortgage rates, they're impacting home buyer demand, and these slower sales have resulted in increased inventory. So rates were at 6.63%, now they're over 7%. So it's just leading into this slowdown of sales.
Before we say that though, I want to just caution the person watching that the market is very strong, right? No matter what, if there's actually a small increase in inventory, what that means is there's more choice for the buyer. And now instead of having to race to maybe write an unrealistic offer to be able to buy that home, they actually get a little bit of negotiation again. They get a little time. So I see it as an opportunity. We know the cost of money is going to come down, and when it does, that inventory is going to snap up quickly.
Yeah. So to your point, things are still selling.
Absolutely.
So whenever we look at the Altos report or the big data and kind of simplify it, the action index is at a 37.
Yep.
That favors sellers. If it's below 30, it favors buyers.
Absolutely.
So if you look at the rate of price reductions, 42% of all of the Melbourne market, of the homes on the market, have had price reductions. So how do you interpret that?
Interpret that as it's become more of a neutral market.
I think it's about accurate pricing now. I agree with you on the neutral market, but I think it's about accurate pricing. And the challenge we see, and whether you're in the UK or right here in Melbourne, Australia, or Melbourne, Florida, it's too often people are going to a portal, getting inaccurate pricing, sometimes too high, sometimes too low, or they look at that inaccurate price and then they rise above it, not realizing that the days of the pandemic are absolutely over. We are back to a more civilized real estate market.
A normal market.
Absolutely. And with the cost of money, and we know that's going to come down, that's going to create a little more hesitation. But I'm assuming today we're going to talk about the all cash buyers as well.
Yeah, so interpreting that data, strong market,
yes.
Price sensitive.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So speaking of cash sales, we've seen interest rates increase. We've seen 74% of January sales over $1 million for all cash sales. That's a big change.
Interesting.
Because what were you, 67% last month?
67%.
Yeah.
So the question is, with that many cash offers above $1 million, what does that mean to the seller?
Means deal certainty for the seller.
Yes.
And pricing accuracy.
It's interesting because that's the same thing I hear in New York City. It's the same thing I hear in La Jolla, California. It's the same exact thing we hear in Vail. More and more cash offers, but the person that's coming in with cash is really looking at the data, really looking at the cost per square foot, really looking at when was the last time this home was remodeled. Is this a redo, or is this 4 years or newer? And what we all know is 4 years or newer is brand new construction.
Yeah, premium property. And I'm seeing with those cash offers, it's a market of compromise.
Yes.
A little bit, we had the saying that a lot of times we're going to have to make a deal that both parties are a little bit unhappy about. Sure. Sellers taking a little bit less, yes. Maybe buyers paying a little bit more.
Yes.
So with buyers, with this increase in inventory, it's giving them more opportunity, yes. With more accurate pricing. So what we're seeing is we're really needing flexibility on both parts. And for buyers, with more inventory and more accurate pricing, it's going to lead to more sales and more opportunities for them.
Yes.
And for sellers, you don't only just need accurate pricing. You also need a real estate agent who has the horsepower, the media company to get you the exposure, to get you the buyer, to get you that accurate pricing and that eventual sell.
So interesting stat we just read just a few weeks ago that last year in the US, 49% of all real estate professionals sold 0 or 1 transaction for the year. And then when you look at where you and the team stand today in the top 1% of the top 1%, the agents that are controlling the market, the degree of separation between marketing and exposure of that property from someone that sold 4 houses a year or 5 houses a year. They could be wonderful people, but they simply do not have the media company. They don't create the exposure online and offline required to generate more accurate pricing, to generate more opportunities for the person thinking about selling their home. That is the degree of separation between the best and everybody else in the marketplace today.
Creating that larger pool of buyers that can
Yes,
that are actually willing and able to purchase.
Correct.
So if you're considering selling your home or not, reach out to us. We're happy to provide accurate pricing for you. Instead of going to a portal or relying on Zillow, Come Home, any of those, reach out to us. We want to be your asset to show you how your property is performing and what it could potentially bring when that time is right for you.
We'd like to say thank you, Tom Ferry.
Thank you, my friend.
For joining us today.
Appreciate it, guys.
We'll see you next month for another episode of State of the Marketplace.